Welcome back to my channel. I am the amazingly spectacular, creative. These names are getting really long. I should really come up with one. I am Tim Green. I write under the pen name T Green. Today we are done with our series on characters for the time being. In a few weeks, 2 to be specific. Man, I gotta stop doing that. I'm blocking out the moneymaker. You don't block this out. Anyway, in about 2 weeks, I will be starting a new series. Hint in this later in this video, if you can catch it. So today we're going to do a quick video. I'm going to give you my top 3 books on writing that you should read. As a writer, you should be learning as much as you can about the craft as possible. But there's tons of books out there. So where to begin? And we'll start off by counting down again. So we'll start at book recommendation 3. Book recommendation number 3 is Writing a Breakout Novel by Donald Mess. This is actually the very first book I've actually ever read, as when I started my writing journey back in 2004, 2005 on writing. At the time, I couldn't really find many books on writing. There were some, and there were a lot. They were out there. It's just my location I couldn't get many. Amazon helped with that. And this was the very first book I actually read, or one of them. I'm pretty sure it was the very first. A little dry, but the information in this book is vital for every writer to know, and does a really good job of kind of breaking it down. Like I said, it's probably not the first book you should read, but it's definitely on the list. You should, maybe like the 3rd, 4th book, but definitely give this book a try, because I see lots of other authors and writers out there recommending it as well, and I do too. The best part about this book is there's a workbook that you can buy that will help you go through it, the book and this workbook, to help you really grasp what the book is talking about. I have not used the workbook, but the books I have used workbooks with are awesome, and it's definitely a great companion to the actual book. So I recommend book recommendation, Structure Your Novel by K.M. Weedland. Yeah, I think I pronounced that correctly. Sorry if I butchered your last name. Structure is one of the most important things all writers need to learn, and I can't stress that enough. And K.M., I'm just going to say that because I don't want to try to butcher her name anymore. But K.M. is one of those indie authors who's really well known out there. She's won several awards, as well as been finalists awards as well. And she's devoted a lot of her time not just to writing, but also to help writers become authors. Ironically, that's the name of her website, helpingwritersbecomeauthors.com. Link will be down below to that. But her book, and she has a series of books out there on a variety of topics, so you can do this. And the best thing, they all come with a workbook. Yeah, there we go. I'm personally using the Outlining Your Novel workbook of hers to go along with her other book, How to Outline Your Novel, just so I have other ways of doing it. I have not used the structure one, but I have gone through the book and it is amazing. KM uses the 3-act structure for the basis of story structure in that book. I'm not a big fan of this structure. I'll go more detail why in a couple of weeks. It is a good starting point, and with the workbook that will help you kind of break this structure down, it's very helpful. Like I said, I cannot stress enough that writers need to learn story structure fast, because one of the most important things you can do early on to save yourself a lot of editing in the long run. And the 3-act, unfortunately, is one of the more widely used ones. With that said, let's move on to book recommendation number 3, Stephen King on Writing. I've talked about this book a few times. I can't remember how many times exactly I have, but this is the book I say, if you need a place to start your learning about writing, this is the book to do it with. The book is split into 2 halves. The first half is an autobiography by Stephen King, and the second half is actually his going over writing, his process, his recommendation. Both are a good read. If you just want the writing advice, you can go right to that. I definitely recommend the audio biography part because you get us other tips too there. You're also to find out that Carrie, his first book he ever wrote, well, published, was saved from the garbage by his wife. So, it's little stuff like that. But this book, oh, there's so much stuff in there. He talks about his love of organic writing. Like I said back in the outline versus pantsers or organic writing video. But he's also written books from an outline. He prefers the organic method, but he's done it all. So he's a really great person to learn from. It's very rare you can actually read a book from a master storyteller like Stephen King. This is my number one pick, and I actually recommend that you actually start with this book if you're just starting out. If you're not just starting out and you've been reading books and you haven't read this one, what's wrong with you? Go get it. That's all I have for my recommendations this week. I will have a link to all those books down in the description to Amazon. We can get them. If you don't have some time to read right now, you can always try to look at Audible. I love audiobooks, and you can find, I'm pretty sure, all these books on there. I'm not sure about writing a breakout novel, but I'm pretty sure it is there, but I can't be sure. But the other two, I do know. Go get one of these books and read. Let me know down in the comment section your thoughts on my picks, your top 3 picks for books on writing that novices or anyone should be reading. Since I have that's all I got to you. If you made it to the end of this video, please give me a thumbs up. You gotta go over here because it's blocking the money maker. Can't do that. Anyway, give me a thumbs up if you made it to the end of this video. If you want to learn more about writing, you can always check out my buddy and I's Adam Daly at the 01 podcast group at the Writer's Mindscape, where we're world building a brand new world for you so you can see how we take our own advice and use it to create this world. There is a link below to all that. Beyond that, I post new videos on Tuesdays. I've been failing at this in the last few weeks due to technical issues, trips, all that. I'm going to do my best to make sure I am posting in the evenings on Tuesday nights. So the best way to know when my videos go live is to hit subscribe and hit that bell. You can find me on social media, where that will be right here. Be sure to check me out on Instagram, where I'll be posting videos from my last trip to the Hoosac Tunnel and Herkimer, New York, where scenes from my upcoming novel, Seeing Through the Veil, take place. Majority of the book does take place in Herkimer, so if you want to see my thoughts on that and where I was going, see some of the locations, that's the place to go. Other than that, I hope you all have a great running week. Tune in a few weeks to see our new topic. If you didn't catch the hint, that will be your signal. And next week we'll be talking about NaNoWriMo prep. If you don't know what that is, there'll be a link down below explaining it. There'll be a description down below and a link to a website so you can find out more about that. It's coming up. Yes, it's not until November, but you gotta prepare. And that was what next week's video will be about, and then we'll move on. Hope you all have a good writing week. Bye.